Hey all, it's Rebecca, and in today's video I am doing a rant, but also this is kind of like an educational rant for people. So today I got a phone call from this number, and it says it came from Nashville, Michigan. The phone number that popped up was 517-760-0992. It came in at 2:48 p.m. Eastern Time. And here is the call log, and it was a missed call because I was on the phone with somebody. So the reason I wanted to read that to you was because the number that called was not a number tied to anything that I was able to research, because that shows up as like a person's phone number, like when you Google it and whatnot, and when you like do Trustpilot and True Search and all the other stuff to like look who that number belongs to. So my nose is like super itchy right now. So I tried calling the number back, and we'll get into that in a minute. So this is a PSA for people, because I know a lot of you guys actually respected and appreciated the fact that I did a video on the Spectrum scam call. And so this is kind of like a PSA to those. So they left me a voicemail. So I'm going to play the voicemail for you guys so that you can hear the voicemail, and then we will talk about it afterwards. And then I'm going to leave some helpful links down below, some news resources, some Reddit things, a Quora post that I was able to find, and just some other helpful things. And because I have worked for Intuit TurboTax since January of 2022, I know this is a scam. And so I answer questions like this when I worked for TurboTax every season, and we get a lot of scammers or consumers that are worried about scammers. And this is a scam. I know it's a scam. It's 100% a scam. So I want to warn people about it. I am a contractor. I work for Intuit TurboTax through a contract company. I don't work directly for Intuit. I have applied to work directly for Intuit, but I've never been hired. I do work for them through a third-party company on a contract basis, like during peak and mini peak seasons. So I just want to be very clear and upfront about that. I am not a direct employee of Intuit. And I tell you what, I have learned so much about taxes and different state laws and codes and IRS things that I never thought I would know. Taxes still terrify me. So this message right here would be scary to most people because it sounds legitimate. Now, I know that she used a couple words that are translated on my voicemail that are red flags, and they should be a red flag to people. And I want to make sure that I'm very upfront about that there's a couple of words that are used in the voicemail that are huge red flags that anybody should pick up on. And if you know for a fact that you don't owe back taxes for anything, which I don't, then you should always disregard anything like this. But also, before you go calling anybody, you need to log into the IRS.gov and make sure you do your due diligence. I always recommend to everybody that calls into Intuit to make sure that you have an ID.me account. I will leave that information down below. I will leave how to log in to the IRS. I'll make sure that I leave help links down there on how to reach out to the IRS. Their phone number, which is the 1-800 number that I always give people to reach out to the IRS. So that, it's 86 something 1040. I'll make sure that I leave it in the description box so that you guys can always reach out to the IRS on your own to verify information if you are curious. I will leave information like help links on how to check and see if a phone call that you got is a scam. The IRS is not going to call you. I'm going to be very upfront about that as well. The IRS will never call you. You always have to call them. Their employees do not get paid enough to call you. You have to call them. They will send you like something like this in the mail, like one of these thick, nasty little letters and stuff. This is a medical document, but they'll send you like one of those scary letters in the mail that says IRS on it. And, your neighbors will be like, ooh. Anyways, so they also send you like certified letters in the mail. And when you have somebody come knock on your door and it says, they need your signature for something, that's one of those bad IRS letters. That means you're either being audited or you owe money if you get a certified letter from the IRS. So those are very scary. IRS or the Intuit TurboTax does offer audit defense and max defense. So if you are worried about being audited, you can add audit defense or max defense on after you submit your taxes. If you file with TurboTax at all, you can add that support on after you purchase your taxes. I will leave that link down in the description box below as well if you want to check out how to do that. And they do have a new Advantage plan on the website if you're curious about that. I just got done working mini peak on my contract expired on the 18th of December, wow, my brain. On the 18th of October, I was contracted from September 30th through October 18th. What do you want, Bridget? I have a puppy staring at me. I'm busy, go away. So we're going to go ahead and play this. Hopefully the volume will be loud enough, so we'll see.
Hi again, this is Crystal Johnson from the Active 8 Solutions. Call me back at 607-417-8465. It looks like you might owe some back taxes. You can now enroll to have them forgiven by using the Zero Tax Elimination Program. And any back owed taxes are now non-collectible through this program, but it's important that we enroll right away. So give me a call and we can handle it all for you. It's really quick, it's a fast one-time thing, and I'll keep your file open for the next day or two. So my number is 607-417-8465. If you think we called you by mistake, call back and press 2 to get removed from our list. Talk to you soon.
So, first of all, the biggest red flag is non-collectible. That's not even a word. But if you owe the government any money at all, it will always be collectible. Always. Always. They will always want the money. The IRS does not play when it comes to their money. I have seen thousands of tax documents in the time that I have been working with Intuit. Now, we do not give out what is called PII, which is personal identifiable information. I will never share personal information about a client that I have worked with at the time that I have been with Intuit TurboTax because number one, I get joy out of helping my clients. I get joy out of spending time with them on the phone. We chit chat, we share lives, we help each other out. Sometimes they uplift me. Sometimes I de-stress them because taxes are stressful. I love helping my customers out with getting their taxes done, verifying their information, making sure that their taxes get filed properly. Do they have problems uploading a document? Do they need help logging into something? Are they trying to import taxes from a year before? Do they have issues with a download? That is what I am there for. I'm called a product expert. But because I have a master's degree in computer engineering, I use my tech background and my tech experience to help people do other things. And I will stay on the phone with you as long as you need me to help you walk you through each and every page. Do you have a question about your form? Sure, let's pull it up. Let's look at it. Let's see what's going on. Oh, you've got a yellow exclamation mark. Let's look at what that is. Let's see what the question says. Can you not read it? Sure, no problem. I will read that line for you. Let's figure this answer out together. I will read you the question, and then we can pull up where that is on your forms on step by step, and I will walk you through how to get that answer filled out for you. I won't give you the answer. I will pull up my calculator on my side, and I will help you calculate whatever you need. You give me the numbers, I'll plug them in. We'll make sure that it verifies with what your paperwork says, and I'll help you plug that information in. I do try and record very detailed notes on every interaction that I have with my customers because I want to make sure that your taxes are done and filed properly. So when I hear her say, and on here it says zero tax elimination, Excuse me, she says you can now enroll to have them forgiven by using a zero tax elimination program, and any back taxes are now non-collectible in this program. That is no such thing. There's no such thing as that. All taxes are always collectible. There's no tax forgiveness program. The IRS will always say that you owe them money unless you can prove that there was something wrong with the filing. You can always amend taxes up to 3 years. You can go back and file an amended return. If something was wrongly filed or filed incorrectly, you can go back up to 3 years and correct that on your taxes. Do you need help filing an amended return? Call us. We'll be happy, on an Intuit TurboTax, we always say call us back. We can always help you file an amended return, whether it was done through us or done through a third party company, whether, it's one of the other preparers. As long as you've got your documentation, we can always plug that information into our system. Now, granted, you're going to have to move it in manually. If you did not use our services, you can just download the desktop version. We'll manually input all that information. And of course, you're going to be looking at it. I'm just going to be there to guide you through what you need to input. But then we'll have the information input, and then you can go back and correct what was input incorrectly. So, and then at the end, when you go to file, you're going to have to tell the IRS why you are amending your taxes and what was done wrong on them to amend the taxes. That is the only way that I legitimately know for you to go back and have taxes forgiven, is if you amend a return and you have a legitimate reason for those taxes being incorrectly filed and or an amount that was owed to go back and have it forgiven. Now, normally when you owe money to the IRS, you can set up payment plans. You can set up like monies owed and stuff like that. If you need help with like a payment plan kind of option, I can leave information in the description box on how to apply for a payment plan. I can leave a link for that as well. But normally, taxes are due at the time that you file. So if you file, before April 15th or 17th or 18th, whenever the tax year falls, or if they have an extension like some years have, then taxes are due at that time unless you file for an extension. Now, if you file for an extension, like some people had until October 15th to file, you still have to pay for your monies owed for federal and or state. States have a different law. So depending on what state you live in, you need to check with your state government to make sure that your state has a guideline in place for that. And all state websites also state, normally, the ones that I have reviewed, state taxes owed must be paid by state federal filing deadlines, which is April 15th. Now, the ones that got an extension until October 15th had already had to have paid monies owed for federal taxes. Any monies not paid and or filed properly and on time could occur a 2% fee on that money owed, and could occur fees on that amount owed after that, which if you're worried about that, I can also leave a link to that in the description box, because I just went over with a lady on that the other day because she was doing multi-state taxes. Multi-state taxes are super difficult, especially if you live in one state, you work in another state, and or you move partially through the year. Also, if you live in one state and you move throughout the year, make sure if you're using a tax preparation software, when you fill out your resident status, you need to make sure you are clearly differentiating on that information you lived in more than one state. So unfortunately, the caller that I had only put one state down. So we had to go back and correct that and mark the second state so that it showed part year resident for both states, which is what it should look like. So when you're doing taxes, say you live 3 months in one state and 7 months in another state, or however many months that you are living in one state versus the other, to make up that year, you need to make sure that you are listed as a partial resident. Some states don't have state taxes, like Florida, Tennessee, Texas. There's like 7 states that don't have state taxes. Some states do, especially the northern states. Northern states in the United States do have state taxes, and they're very proud of those state taxes. Also, say you live in like Pennsylvania, but you work in New Jersey or New York, because they're all pretty close together. And some people live in Pennsylvania but work in New York and New Jersey, and they commute. And so, because it's cheaper in taxes to live in Pennsylvania than commute like an hour or so to New York. So, New York is very proud of their taxes. New York taxes are very difficult. And also being licensed to do taxes in New York for our tax advisors for TurboTax, it's also very expensive for them to keep up licensing in New York because of all the new changes and laws that change regularly in New York. So keeping that in mind, when you have multiple states, so you have a job in New York, but you also do freelance work in New Jersey, but you're a resident of Pennsylvania, that would also be a multi-state tax return. So in that instance, when you get your state tax part, you now have to put your non-resident states first on your tax returns, and then your Pennsylvania state, which is where you're a resident of, should be done last. So a lot of people don't realize that when they're doing their taxes, and they put Pennsylvania first, and then they add New Jersey and New York, and it can screw stuff up. So again, there's a lot of stuff that I've learned over the years of working for Intuit TurboTax as a contractor. I have learned so much tax stuff. So what I want to do is I want to call these schmoes really quick and see what information I can get from them on the phone. So I'm going to call the number that called me first so that you guys can hear the voicemail, because it said on the voicemail when I called, and I wrote down what it said. It says, please call the toll-free number left on the back of the voicemail, or call the number back left on the voicemail, as all agents are currently busy and cannot take your call right now. So that was kind of sketch. So I just want to play that really quick. So let's do that. So you can see I've already called it once, and I called it at 2:51 for 11 seconds. So let's call them again.
Thank you for calling Tax Resolution Center. All of our agents are busy at this moment helping clients. Please call back the toll-free numbers that was left in the voicemail. Thank you.
So that called them Tax Resolution Centers. That was something I mixed. So and here's a link from the IRS saying, taxpayers beware, report IRS impersonators here. So the IRS actually has a link right here. It says taxpayers who receive these phone calls should record the number and then hang up the phone immediately, and then report the TIGTA using the IRS Impersonation Scam Reporting form, which I can leave in the description box. And it also has a phone number on here, and then you can report the number to the IRS via an email. And then it says, be sure to put IRS phone scam in the subject line. So I will definitely, and this was an email, this is on the IRS website, dated January 27th, 2022. So what I'm going to do, and since I'm also still recording, let me go ahead and stop the recording for just a second so I can start a fresh one. And then we're going to call the 607 number because I have time today. Okay, new recording started. So we're going to go ahead and call these schmoes.
Thank you for calling the Federal Tax Resolution Department. We contacted you today to inform you about our new Federal Tax Resolution Program, which can reduce any taxes you owe by half and eliminate any interest you're set to pay. If you owe over $10,000 in federal taxes and are currently employed, you may qualify. To speak with an approved tax relief specialist, please press 1. If you would like to be removed from our calling list,
I hit 1.
A representative will be available shortly to take your call. If you did not receive a letter or you think this call is in error, please press 2 to be placed on our do not call list. If you owe over $5,000 in back taxes, or you have at least 3 years of unfiled back taxes, please wait on the line. Hello, are you feeling overwhelmed by your tax debt? You're not alone, and there's good news. The Tax Relief Program is here to help. This program offers a lifeline to those struggling with unpaid taxes.
No, they don't.
Imagine reducing your tax debt significantly. That's what the Tax Relief Program can do. It's designed to provide relief to taxpayers by negotiating with the IRS on your behalf.
No, they don't.
But here's the thing. Time is of the essence. The sooner you act, the sooner you can relieve your tax burden and enjoy peace of mind. Don't let tax debt control your life. Take the first step towards financial freedom today. Contact us now to see if you qualify for the Tax Relief Program. Let us help you turn over a new leaf with the IRS. A representative will be available shortly to take your call. If you did not receive a letter or you think this call is in error, please press 2 to be placed on our Do Not Call list. If you owe over $5,000 in back taxes, or you have at least 3 years of unfiled back taxes, please wait on the line. Hello, are you feeling overwhelmed by your tax debt? You're not alone, and there's good news. The Tax Relief Program is here to help. This program offers a lifeline to those struggling with unpaid taxes. Imagine reducing your tax debt significantly. That's what the Tax Relief Program can do. It's designed to provide relief to taxpayers by negotiating with the IRS on your behalf. But here's the thing. Time is of the essence.
They fucking hung up on me. They fucking hung up on me.
Thank you for calling the Federal Tax Resolution.
So I pressed 1 again.
Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line and you'll be transferred to the next available agent.
Very different.
Hello, this is Eva with the Tax Relief Center on the recorded line. How are you doing today?
Oh, very confused because I called and I waited online for several minutes and then somebody answered and then hung up on me. So like, what is going on? Like somebody called and said I owed tax money and like now I can't get somebody on the phone? Hello?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We apologize about that since I got you on the line. I'll be more than happy to help you with.
Oh, okay. So what's going on? So somebody called my phone named Crystal and said that I owed like back taxes and stuff. And like, I didn't get a letter in the mail like the message said. And like, I'm really scared. And like, can you tell me more information?
Yes, ma'am. There is information here that they sent you a letter, or a message, because we received also a notification here that you may be dealing with tax or credit card debt issue. How much do you think you owe? Did the IRS send you a letter claiming that you owe them?
No, I don't have any letters. That's what I just said. And the voicemail that Crystal left me said that I owed tax money. And so since I didn't get a letter like your automated message said, now I'm like scared. Like, do I owe tax money or something? Like, what's going on?
I see. I believe it was been sent and a mistake. We apologize about that, ma'am. I don't see any problem here on our system. Just disregard this message, ma'am, okay?
So wait, so how? Oh, she fucking hung up on me again. So this, of course, you guys know this is a scam. I was trying to play scared and see if I could get her to tell me information. Obviously, she was not going to tell me anything. Which just goes to show, and this came, okay, so the first number said Nashville, Michigan. This one said Binghamton, B-I-N-G, Hamilton, New York, is where that number shows up from. So, and then there are the call logs. So, It's obviously a scam. Like I said, I will leave the links down below. And you know what's funny is she switched. I don't know if you guys heard that, but she switched from taxes to credit card debt. So they're trying to get people on either thing, whatever somebody will bite on, because I only have like $300 worth of money on my credit cards right now, and that's all I owe because I've been paying them down to like get rid of like every debt because Jason lost his job, and I literally only have the one contract now, and then I lost all of my contracts. I don't start my next contract until November 22nd, so like both of us are like completely out of work, so we have no income, so it's like terrifying. So I've been like slowly paying down stuff so that we don't have bills, and he's paid off most of his stuff, and he only has the 2 credit cards that he's got, and I have like 2 credit cards. My one credit card's paid off. I only have 2 credit cards left. One of them will have like $100 balance after this month, and then the other one has like a $300 balance on it, but then I get like a bonus for signing back up to do that Intuit contract, September through October. So that's like a bonus that I get for doing recertification again in September. So I'm going to take that bonus and pay down the one credit card. So I'll have like $100. Ooh, sorry, didn't mean to hit that. I'll have like $100 left on that credit card. So I know I don't have credit card debt. And because I work for a tax preparer twice a year, every year for the past couple of years, I know I don't owe taxes because I help people do their taxes regularly. And I know how stressful it is to hurry up and wait to the last minute to do their taxes. And I try and warn people like, please make sure you do this. Please double check this. Please do this and do this and this. And so I try and walk people through what to do and what not to do, and to avoid stuff like this that came in on my phone. So I just wanted this to be a good sign and warning to those that may not know how to avoid this stuff. And I'm sure I'll have somebody in the comments that's like, this could have been a 5-minute long video. And I'm like, yeah, it could be. It could be. And if you watched it to this length of time, then thank you so much for watching this long. You guys are the OGs. I appreciate that. But I want to be as thorough as possible when giving this information, because of the fact that taxes are scary. And when somebody thinks they owe money to the IRS or the US government, they're going to be terrified. They're going to be scared. They're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know I owed money. And why? What do you mean I owe money? And I didn't know I owed money. And I do my taxes. And they're going to literally just flip out. They're going to lose their mind because they don't think about it. Like my dad, the time that those scammers called him and said, your daughter's been arrested. She's sitting in jail. I'm literally laid up in the bed sleeping because I was working until 6 o'clock that morning. And all he had to do was knock on my bedroom door and go, hey, Rebecca, are you okay? No, he didn't even do that. He just went to the bank and pulled money out and was going to go to a fucking parking lot and hand somebody cash because he didn't think. I'm trying to protect people from doing stupid shit like that because fear does crazy stuff to people. Please don't fall for this stuff. Please don't. I know people fall for it every day. Common sense is not that common. Sometimes fear kicks in and we don't use our rational minds. And, the IRS is scary. Has anybody not seen the movies that came out in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s where like the IRS was going to like audit everybody and they make you bring in all your boxes and your receipts? I know my mom terrified me of the IRS when I was growing up. And I even tell my customers, please make sure you keep your documentation. There are, helpful links on the IRS's website. For businesses, you're supposed to have documentation for X amount of years. For personal taxes, you should have documentation for this many years. Please make sure you're keeping your receipts, and especially for big purchases, for the ones that are like the laser, like these receipts go bad. If it's a big purchase, please make sure that you're photocopying those, and then making sure that you have a photocopy of it, not like that stuff that's going to like vanish after like a year and a half, 2 years, or if like a drop of alcohol gets on it, it's going to like vanish because alcohol will erase it. I'm trying to help as many people as I can with this information. I'm not trying to like just, drone on. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So keep that in mind when you're leaving your little snarky ass comments, because I'm the wrong one. So anyways, I will leave as many help links down below as possible. I'm just going to like splice these two together and put my intro in, and then I'll leave all the links in the description box to direct you guys wherever you need to go, and the articles that I was able to find, and the IRS links that I told you. And if you guys do use Intuit or TurboTax, I do recommend signing up for, if you are worried about being audited or getting those hateful, scary, like super thick, like IRS letters and stuff. Like if you think that you did your taxes wrong, or you're not worried, or if you're worried about like something coming back and biting you in the ass, audit defense is where one of our tax professionals will work with the IRS for you. They are a legal, they're a licensed tax preparer that will work with the IRS on your behalf as the go-between. So I will leave that information in the description box if you're curious. I may use the shortened link from like Go Magically if I can find shortened links, because some of these links may be long, but more than likely none of these links will be commission. So just giving you a heads up. If you do see a shortened link, I'll put an asterisk next to it if it is commission, if I earn commission on it. Just going to be upfront about that. But most likely none of the links that I will provide in the description box will be commissionable links. So there's that. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Hopefully this is helpful. And I'm just trying to protect people, and I've already reported the numbers on a few different websites, and I've let the FCC know about it. And I am on the federal do not call list, so the fact that they called me and left this information, they could receive anywhere between a $5,000 and a $25,000 fine for this. And I will also be reporting it now that I have the IRS page pulled up. I will also be writing an email to the IRS and reporting the scam to them as well, to the information I will also be leaving in the description box. So anyways, I hope this is helpful to somebody out there. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. And if you want to just tell me that the video is too long, you can kiss my white ass, because I don't really give a shit. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.